When vaccines are produced, at least the best vaccines, the vaccines that are approach, or the vaccines that cures and treatments that are approached with healing and long-term benefits over time, the focus is not on speed or profit or cost to produce it, but on the quality and its accuracy. So when we do these things, we usually pick the best ingredients, we take the time to test them, etc., see the pros and cons, and as I said, the focus is usually on healing. As we keep this in mind when we're producing a vaccine, we have to keep this in mind as we're treating any other kind of health matter. So when it comes to COVID, what can be done on the matter of prevention? And for those who already have it, vaccines are not going to take them away. How can you help people recover better, faster, and how can you help people strengthen their immune system to hopefully avoid acquiring the disease, and if they do, that their bodies are better prepared to handle it, and hopefully complications are non-existent or low, and there's much more success rate on healing. Also, there is a much speedy recovery, and as I said, there's a prevention, both of potentially not acquiring the disease, and if you do get contaminated with the virus, that your body is able to fend off. And this all connects to nutrition. If we're not eating proper foods, our bodies are not strong enough, and our immune systems fail to protect us from disease. I am a person that has autoimmunity in a very rare manner. There's no one condition I can be linked to, and the eye problems that I have, some other problems that I dealt with in the past too, etc., all connect to that. The car accident that I had in 2017, for those who have followed me for years, you saw me post about it on my photography account. Since then, pain became worse because of these things. So with that, is that inflammation is one of the things that comes with autoimmunity. And obviously, when you suffer pain from an injury, inflammation is just not your best friend. And so with that, you keeping all of that in mind, it brings me to why I mentioned that. So inflammation affects pain, affects the body in that manner. It's not just doesn't affect it there, but inflammation affects other factors. And when it comes to breathing conditions, inflammation can really worsen things. Some of the things that I notice with people complaining about their COVID, or at least in the things that I read online, news briefs, as well as people's personal experiences, is that the symptoms that they've described more or less are around inflammation of breathing tubes and so on. People who have allergies or who have had allergic reactions understand so matter what I talked about as people with asthma, and it's you feel like your tubes are closing, your throat's closing and so on, and there's a heaviness on the lung. If you ever had pneumonia or any disease of the likes, again, you understand sort of what it feels like, the heaviness on the chest, in the lungs, etc. So these are sort of the similar things that people have described with COVID. And inflammation too has many triggers, environmental, even emotional. But part of it comes to with diet, both the triggers as well as solutions. There are many anti-inflammatory foods. This is why no matter whether you're a vegetarian or no, whether you're vegan or not, plant-based is the main source of nourishment for any living being. Lions don't eat exclusively steak. They do, zebras, they do eat plants around, as you see wolves who are hunters too. And I mention this because these are strong carnivores known in our planet, and even carnivores who lived carnivores lifestyles. When you look at a wolf, they live in tundra, there's extreme weather, there's a lot of walking to survive, there's many weeks in between hunting animals, plus they're the ones hunting in the wild, big, animals, etc. So when you see animals who live and consume, for example, meat the way they do, and they still consume other plants, and the lifestyles are so much different than humans, then we understand that part of the contribution to some of our problems of health have to be with an out of balance diet. As anything and everything in life, period, you need balance to be able to have the most optimized experience, whether it is designing a machine, whether it is a system put into society, whether it is something you are doing, an activity, the time and how you're spending your life overall, the whole work-life balance. You get the word balance means finding that middle point between extremes, and at that point is when all things become optimized. You get the full potential of benefit, of fun, of whatever, like when people take risk, for example, you do measure risk, because if you're not doing it balanced, you're going to lose, you're going to get hurt. Whatever it is that risk means is going to inevitably find you if you're not having a balanced stance on your risk taking. For people who do investments, for people who do extreme activities, you understand just that getting out of balance means losing something that you wanted. And you know that the best outcome of whatever it is you're doing is finding that balance to optimize it. That's going to be your maximum potential. From there, as with anything that measures progress, is once you pass that balance, there's a decline. So once we understand that, it goes right back to how we're nourishing our bodies. Am I telling you have to be a vegan or a vegetarian? No, I'm not. Anyone who understands and follows everything I've thought understands that I talk about plant-based diets for many reasons. Not because I am a vegan or a vegetarian. And over the years, I've mentioned that over and over and over. I talk and post about vegan food, and I promote vegan cooking, but I am not a vegan person. However, keeping myself on a very nutritious diet is what has given me the tools and ability to fend off the progress of disease and the issues that I deal with, because medically speaking, I haven't been treated the best way. Haven't had the best treatments, and even the therapies that I have been taken away from me over and over. So I suffer a lot of pain. And if it wasn't for the lifestyle that I keep for myself, with meditation, with healthy eating, even though I do eat junk food, I do eat meat, I drink alcohol, and for those who didn't know, I'm 420 friendly, I still keep balance in all the things that I do. Because if I didn't, then I will be hurt. And I bring my own personal note to this because as a person with extreme disabilities, who's had lots of problems, that can cost me my life and that decline my health. If it wasn't for my healthy approach to all the things that I do, I will not be able to have my life the way that I do. I know will be able to provide the help that I have provided in life to many people in the things that I do here as an artist, as a philosopher, etc. So the best way to approach COVID is going to be through healthy nutrition. I mentioned this already in other posts, but I thought I will make one unique to it. If we don't approach strong, nutritious meals while people are sick, their chances of recovery are less, and their time of recovery is going to be exponential. The worsening of their condition while they have the condition, it's going to be more severe. The need for alternative supports like oxygen and so on increases. When your body has less inflammation, things like breathing and that are easier. I know from personal knowledge, so I have a son who suffers allergies and other things that affect him. So part of addressing the issues of COVID and prevention of COVID has to do with addressing nutrition across the planet. Healthy nutrition, not how much food you should eat, but what foods give nutrition.